Good afternoon to today's lecture. Today we will discuss another example related to the essential prime implicant and prime implicant calculations. This particular example is from your book, and this was once your end semester question also. This one is a little bit different from the previous one. You see, in previous one we did multiple groupings of degree 2 or multiple groups of 4 number of cells. But this one is going to be a little bit different. We will see why. So first of all, what we have to do is to populate the K-map according to your question. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay. So now what we have to do is to find groups with maximum possible cells. Now for this particular combination, a group of 8 cell is not possible, but what I see is a group of 4 cell is possible, just like in your previous example. So on your face you can find this to be one group. We also can find this to be one group with 4 cells. This is also possible. So let that be this group be named as group 1, this be named as group 2, this be named as group 3. Okay, so we have 3 groups with 4 possible cells, and I don't see in any other way 4 cells can be combined to form a group. Okay, so we are going to say that group 1, group 2 and group 3 are prime implicants. But there's a problem, and the problem is we are left with 2 ones here, which cannot be combined into a group of 4 cells. So what we are going to do is to form groups with those remaining ones. Now if 4 cell is not possible, then what we're going to do is to make a group that is maximum possible for the rest of the ones. For example, these 2 ones we can form a group of 2 ones here. Okay, and that is the maximum possible for them. Okay, we can do individual 2 groups like single cell groups of 2, but as we are interested in maximum possible, so we're going to do maximum possible is that is 2 cells. Combining 2 cells, we're going to form one group. Okay, let that be named as group 4. Now all possible, we have to only consider these twos, and we have to form groups for only these 2 ones and all possible combinations. So what I see is this group is also possible. Okay, forget about all other ones, just concentrate on these 2 ones and form the groups that is maximum possible for those 2 ones only. So we can name it as a group 5. I also see this can also be a group. Let that be group 6. So what we get is group 4, group 5 and group 6. These are also prime implicants. Okay, now how we can differentiate these 2 prime implicant sets? Okay, so we're going to say that these are the prime implicants of degree 2 because this contains 4 cell, 2 to the power 2 that is 4, 2 to the power 2 that is 4, and that's why we call it a degree 2. Now these are also prime implicants, but they are of smaller degree, that is 2 to the power 1, that is number of 2's. So we also have prime implicants of different degrees. On previous example we only considered this 4 cell groupings, because with 4 cell groupings all the prime implicants or all the ones were covered. But on this case, we need the grouping of different degrees to combine all the ones. Okay, so that's why we have two set of prime implicants. The next one is we have to find out what are the essential prime implicants. Let me just write down the solution to these groups first. Group 1 would be AB, group 2 would be AC, group 3 would be BC group 4 would be A B D, group 5 would be B C D, and group 6 would be A C D. Okay, these are the solution to all those groups. Now what we're going to do is to find which of these groups are going to be your essential prime implicants. Okay, this was your end semester question, and a lot of students confused about these answers. So if you consider group 1, you see there are all overlappings. Okay, so that means this groups, in this group all the ones are attended by all other groups except that G1 group. These two ones are also attended by G3, these two ones are also attended by G2. So there is overlapping, so we can say this is not an essential, because we need at least one cell that is not attended by any other group. So if you see, we're going to consider group 2, you see this one is overlap but this one is not. So we're going to say that G2 is an essential prime implicant. Okay, what about G3? We also have this overlapping but this not. This one is not attended by any other group except G3. So we're going to call it as essential prime implicant. What about G4? We're going to go down 1 degree, that is degree 1. So G4, if you see, there is overlapping obviously. For G5, this one already overlapping, and for G6 obviously overlapping. So none of them are going to be your essential. Okay, so according to your previous formula, the solution to the question would be your essential prime implicant solutions which are mandatory, that is the solution to group T and group 3, those are mandatory, plus rest of the groups which contain all the rest of the ones. Okay, so that really depends on which group we actually choose. G2, you see, with G2 we are covering all these ones, with G3 we are covering all these ones. Okay, so that really comes down to this last two remaining ones, which can be combined in any way. If we consider G4, then these two ones are simultaneously considered. If we don't want that G4, we can combine multiple groups, but that will increase your final expression. Okay, so by combining G4, we're going to simultaneously consider the last two ones. So that's actually our solution. So G2 would be AC, G3 would be BC dash, and G4 would be A dash B dash D. Okay, we always need the least number of groups to form the solutions. Okay, so this is what the final solution is, and this too remains constant. Okay, so your question would be something like this, and you have to list out all the prime implicants for them, and you also have to list out all the essential prime implicants for them. Okay, this question is on your exercise book. Okay, you can go for that. and see what the answer is on the last pages. Okay. And the solution, you see, your book also has this predefined published solution, and on that particular solution the explanation is wrong, so don't follow the solutions. On your book the solution is given right, but on your solution, that is PDF solution that is online available, that is very wrong, so don't follow that particular solution. Okay.